love it. Hey guys, so Monica here with the End Hunger Challenge Project. We did not get a chance to connect with Candlebox during Halfway Jam because, as many of you know, it was crazy busy. But we were able to connect with them today. And you guys are playing with, isn't it Hinder?
Hinder and
Theory of Deadman? Yeah. So, and we may be interviewing Hinder tomorrow.
Carlton,
Right?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Gotta love that accent.
All the way up there in Minnesota, eh?
You betcha.
Oh, I love it. So you guys were
Is that
kind
a pop? You got a pop for us?
pop. I don't even.
We've gone too far, right?
That movie Fargo did not do us justice.
Oh,
just
sure.
saying.
Well, it most certainly did there.
Yeah, I hope it did, because if not, I'm disappointed, because that's just classic.
Come on now.
Considering
you gotta
that
have
I'm
something
from-
for breakfast before you go out there, Mark.
Considering that I'm from Brainerd, that just.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Born and raised from
I
Brainerd,
love that.
so. Oh, crazy. So you guys had a chance to kind of be briefed on the project that you are a part of now. And your interview is going in with over 100 other artists and musicians who have joined forces with us to help end child hunger. What do you guys think of that when you hear, you know, the magnitude of what you were a part of?
Well, I mean, that's awesome. It's great. It's great that so many people that that are fortunate are willing to spend some time to raise awareness for those that are less fortunate. I mean, you know, you look around our dressing room, like this trailer, for instance. I mean, there's fresh fruit up there. There's vegetables. There's bags of chips. We have bread. We have, you know, peanut butter. We have cold cuts in the fridge. We have all these things, you know, that half of it we won't even eat. And, you know, God only knows what happens to it after we leave. So, you know, I think there's obviously an excess of waste, of food waste. So I'm happy to be a part of it. I think that, you know, definitely there are children out there that go to school without lunches, you know, that can't afford it. And there are children out there that can't eat, and families out there that can't afford to feed their children. So, I mean, if there's anything we can do, if it's something like this, to talk about it and maybe get involved in any way possible, that's definitely something we are attracted to.
Yeah, that's one of the perks, if you will, of being in the entertainment business, is just being able to do something like this and hopefully helping to a cause like that. It's always a great day for us when we can contribute in that way. You know?
And I do have to say, even though it's the entertainment industry as a whole, and I have interviewed pro athletes and models and actors, the musicians have been probably 95% of the interviews, not because it's musicians only, just because they have been the most receptive to say, yeah, we will do this.
We care more.
Well, exactly. We care. And you know, the other thing is that there's the cliche of the broke musician, the starving musician. We've all been that.
Yeah.
So
Right?
we understand.
We get that a lot
We've literally been there.
when we talk about that. Like, we're starving.
Yes.
We get that quite a
How
bit,
much is the
so.
top ramen this week?
That's right.
Oh, 10 cents a package? Oh,
Hey,
finish.
I remember back in the day when I moved out to California, I would buy for $1 a 3-pack of macaroni and cheese, and that would feed me, one box would feed me 2 meals each day.
Yep.
So I've been there.
I've been there in college, you know, moving out thinking, I can do this on my own. Like, I'm on my own now. Ramen noodles every day.
Mhm.
Just, you know, it's the way
Yep.
it is. So yeah, you guys are helping to raise, with this interview, 1,500 meals just by giving us,
That's
you know,
great.
awesome.
a small amount of your
That's
time
incredible.
towards our goal of 500,000 this year. That's what we're shooting for.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
hopefully,
Bravo.
you know, I know, right? See if we can get it, you know, get it up there.
Yeah.
So we have some questions for you. And I was told that there was an original name to the band.
Uncle Duke.
Yes. So where did the change come from, going from Uncle Duke to Candlebox? Where?
We changed members of the band, and a couple of the new guys didn't like Uncle Duke. So,
Well,
you know who you are.
Changes.
I'm not naming names.
No, that is, and you shouldn't have to.
No, just, you know, we changed up band members, and we were looking for something that was a little bit more, I guess, palpable.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the term? I don't know the word I'm looking for to describe the
You
word
wanted to
that
go
we
deep.
use.
You wanted some
Yeah,
depth.
we wanted something really, really deep, and we pulled the lyric, or the band name from Midnight Oil lyric, who I'm a big fan of.
And you guys just had an album release in April, wasn't it? How is that new album doing?
It's doing great. It is on vinyl here. If I take some time.
Vinyl. I miss
Look at
vinyl.
that.
And if
Look
you're
at
watching
that.
this and you don't know what vinyl is,
This is a big CD.
right?
Giant
Very-
CD.
Giant CD.
It's only on certain CD players.
Which was really awesome, and I miss them. There's nothing better than vinyl.
That's right.
I think.
They sound, it still sounds
And it's
good.
180 grams.
Oh,
It's good
Uh,
stuff
so
right there.
jealous.
Oh.
Yeah, so the record came out
Right?
in April. It's called
I
Despairing
still have
Airports.
one of them.
Do you really want
I
one?
want
I
one.
have to get one.
Well, you're gonna have to go out there and get one because I can't give you these. I wish I could.
I know.
But yeah, the record's called Disappearing Airports. Came out in April, and it's awesome. In our humble opinion, it is the best record Candlebox has ever made.
So one of the other questions that we have is, what was the inspiration behind the song "You"?
I had gone through a pretty ridiculous drug addiction period in my life when I was a teenager, to the point where I was stealing money from my parents, and I got kicked out of my house when I was 17 years old. And somewhere between 17 and 18, I figured it out that it wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. So I quit drugs on my 18th birthday and paid my parents back. And
Kudos to you.
so that song is really about I'm done with this and I'm moving on. And I also had a lot of friends, that were struggling with heroin addiction and cocaine addiction and whatever. And it's kind of that anthem for me to just say when I'm done with something, I'm fucking done with it.
Like, it's done, we're not going back.
We're not going back. And I don't. Now listen, I don't consider marijuana a drug. I don't consider mushrooms a drug. I think that anything that's natural, that grows from the ground, that God planted here, should be enjoyed. But synthetics and stuff like that, I think, are what are killing. Obviously, today, killing the youth of America. This OxyContin and all and whatnot, turning them into junkies overnight and heroin addicts because they can't afford the OxyContin. So that's that's another thing. But yeah, the song was just about me walking away from that addiction.
I love that. I like that backstory. I mean, just because it has a substantial meaning, I like that very much.
Well,
Everything I write is that way.
It's a fine line between having fun with your friends and having a good time and fucking your life up.
Right? And,
And
that line
recognizing when you're crossing that line is a huge thing.
Yeah.
and that line can easily be crossed, which you mentioned.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very
Oh, yeah.
easy to cross that, and some never turn back.
Yep.
So the fact
Yep.
that you did is huge
We've
because
known
of
several.
that didn't.
Well, it's
come
scary
back.
out there when you're 17 and you get kicked out of your house, especially in Seattle. It's like, what the fuck am I gonna do? And I just had enough wits about me to figure it out.
I don't know the difference between Seattle and, say, downtown Minneapolis, but I can't imagine it'd be any easier at 17 to be kicked out and left downtown Minneapolis.
Probably very, very similar.
Which would be pretty scary for a 17-year-old, no matter how big you think you are.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, we were talking before the interview ran that you had Shannon Larkin, as a fill-in drummer one time.
Ugly kid Shannon.
Right, Ugly Kid Shannon, I love it. And you kind of had an interesting little story. What was it like having Shannon work with you guys for a short time?
Well, the
I don't know
first.
if we can tell that one, but maybe.
Yeah, no, I mean it's fun. I think most people know that. Shannon's been playing drums I think since he was like 6. So he has no hearing in his left ear. It's like he's got 5 or 10% left. His right ear is probably just as bad. And the first rehearsal we had with him, he was missing some of the ghost notes that happen in songs like You and Change and whatnot. So I walked over and I was like, "Hey Shannon, listen, there's a couple ghost notes in the verse track that you need to spend a little time with, and then maybe tomorrow we'll go over it more." And he didn't answer me, didn't respond. And I was like, Shannon, like, spend a little time with the track and get a little bit more used to it, and still nothing. So I walked over and I tapped on the cymbal. And he looked up at me. He's like, "Oh, hey, sorry, I'm deaf in this ear, and I've only got 10% in that ear."
And you're
I was
like,
oh, fuck, this is gonna be awesome. But literally, I mean, within 2 days, he was destroying it,
He's
and that's
awesome.
the type of drummer he is.
He is. It was really fun to sit down with him. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
One of my favorite drummers. I mean,
He's
just-
so entertaining to watch. I mean, the guy is just, he's almost like Keith Moonish in a way. He's got his own unique style that's just him,
Well, he created the arm movement swing. I don't know if you know the story.
Yeah. Oh, not the story,
Because
but
he had broken his shoulder, or dislocated or something, and in the process of trying to heal, the only way he could get to the cymbals was to rotate his arm.
was to like just throw it
pull
up their face. Oh.
And it became his thing, and then he couldn't go back to the way he was playing before.
So now that's just kind of
that's his thing.
Interesting. Yeah, he's wicked on the drums. Prior to that interview, I hadn't really watched him. I mean, I knew who he was, I knew the music, but watching him that first time was like, oh my lord.
Monster.
Right?
You can focus on him for an entire show and never get bored.
No,
He's
very
spectacular.
entertaining. So, yeah. Do you have any questions for them? You know, you're big into the music too. How about?
You're on the spot.
Put on the spot.
On the
She's
spot.
like,
Yeah.
oh no.
And this is my first interview, so I'm kind of like,
She's just learning how it goes here. Well,
She
how
holds
about,
that camera really steady though.
She does. She's good at that. Well, how about this? For maybe the new fans who are watching through this interview, or the fans you've had for a long time that are now going to see this, any words of advice for them, or the young ones, like back when you were 17? Think of the 17-year-olds now. What advice would you give them?
Well, I mean, musically or in
Musically,
general?
or just in general, so they don't make,
Well, in general, if you have a little bit extra, make sure you are charitable with it in any way, shape, or form. If you are a musician, be honest with yourself and with the music. Don't try and sound like anybody else. Play what you want to play, how you want to play it. There are a million bands out there, and it's very, very hard to be, I guess, to get some sort of recognition now, really. I mean, so you gotta be true to the music and to who you are. Just don't try and sound like anybody else, and work your asses off. Adam, I'm sure, has something to say because he's been playing a hell of a lot longer than me.
Probably about the same, but that's I think very well said. Follow your heart, play what you want to play. Don't make your compromises, because in the end there's no guarantee of any sort of success in this business or any other, really.
Yeah.
But especially in entertainment. So if you're gonna do what you love doing, then how far you go really doesn't matter, because you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
If you start schlepping around playing songs that somebody told you this is better, or changing your stuff up, and you don't really like it, then you're going to be selling a lie to yourself. So just do what you love, do what you believe.
which leads me to the question I forgot to ask. So it was mentioned that, you guys started playing old Seattle spots, years ago, just when you first started out, and they're wondering how much has changed with this genre since then till now. Maybe in the music industry.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, is this not the same
It's a long
as it
time.
used to be, buying like physical CDs and people,
No, yeah.
Well, I mean,
or even bars?
I would say, from the Seattle scene, from the explosion of that, I think there's been a lack of integrity when it comes to not only the music business but musicians themselves.
So selling themselves out, maybe, or
Very much so. You've got so many bands that I guess have tried to write hit singles, and no one knows what a hit single is, and so you've got these albums worth of 3-minute and 30-second songs that just really don't say anything, and I think people have lost the focus of what music is supposed to be.
I agree.
It's an extension of your personality. It's an extension of who you are. If you're trying to write it for somebody else, you're wasting your time.
You're not really being true to the music then, if
No.
you're...
And Candlebox has always been the type of band that's been, we've never tried to follow anyone. It's always been the records we wanted to make when we wanted to make them, how we wanted to make them. It's never, even when we were forced into the studio, we fought back.
You fought back to stay true to what you
Yeah.
guys had created in
And we fought back internally as well. I mean, it's like, and that's what I think, a lot of those Seattle bands, and I guess that genre of music that came out in the early 90s, there was a sincerity and an honesty and a realism to those bands and to that music that is just lacking today, and I think a lot of the bands as well from that era that are trying to make records now have kind of forgotten that, it's, you hear these new songs, you're kind of like, what are you doing? Where are you going?
I'm hearing that a lot.
But I mean, maybe they're doing what they want to do. I don't know. I'm just my opinion.
It seems that they lack a lot of originality nowadays, though. I don't want to name any bands, and I really can't specifically off the top of my head, but so many of them don't have what you're saying true to their hearts, music that they created. It's just kind of copying somebody else. You're not really being original.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with that scene is a great example. But any scene, anytime you have an area where there seems to be like something in the water, where suddenly there's a whole bunch of these really great creative artists come out of it, it's almost always, when you look back at it, it's because that area went against the grain. They did their own thing. They didn't follow what was happening. So when things change, like when people talk about, when Nirvana hit and they changed so much of what was going on, it's exactly because they weren't doing what was happening.
Yeah.
And there were so many people in the area of Seattle. Seattle as a city seemed to kind of isolate itself and just kind of say, screw the rest of the country and everything.
We're gonna do
We're
this.
going to do what we do. And then eventually people went there. At first people will dismiss it because it's different. It's not what they're used to.
Oh, they're horrible.
And then eventually they'll figure out, hey, wait, there's something really good here. Let's look at this. And then suddenly people realize this is great and new. The record companies will hit it, the fans will hit it, and it'll explode. But the problem is then the people who show up late to the game are trying to imitate it. And it goes away.
Well, I'm sure we have to get going here. We'll wait until you
Keep
come
talking.
back. Keep talking? All right, that's fine. We'll roll with it. So the last question, and you both can be part of this, that we ask everybody when we do the interviews is you get the chance to nominate 3 other people in industry to do an interview. Kind of like the Ice Bucket Challenge, but,
Really?
no water and no ice. It's just the fact of
Gotcha.
kind of
Yeah,
keeping
yeah.
it going, which has been really successful.
Okay.
So you guys have the chance to call up 3 other bands, individual artists, anybody in the industry.
3 other people for interviews. So should we throw our boys in Seven Dust into that one to start off?
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal, guys, and we're going on video for this. Seven Dust has been interviewed or nominated twice, and Lejean was, and so was, who was the other one I'm thinking off the top of my head?
Probably Morgan.
No,
Clint.
Clint Lowry
Okay.
was, and we got a yes originally, and then we couldn't do it for that venue, so we haven't actually gotten Seven Dust yet. Help us call them out and make it happen.
Definitely. Well, yeah, Seven Dust have to do it. And Morgan, we're going to put pressure on him because we have a band with Morgan as well.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys can
appreciate
help me
it.
because Clint's
He's
been
gotta step
nominated,
up. That's
Lejean's
right.
been nominated, so come on, guys. Really, we need to make it happen.
They're good guys,
You
good
can lay
friends of
Candlebox
ours.
down.
Morgan
I'm sure they'll
Rose.
do it. They'll do
See,
it.
that's 3 now.
All right.
All right, so you got
so
2
she
more.
wants 2 more. So
Ooh. Guys in Live.
yes.
Live was nominated. One of the people from Halfway Jam nominated Live.
Chad
Yep.
Taylor, maybe?
I want to say it might have been my interview
Or
with
Chad
the
Gracie.
Soul Asylum.
Yeah,
They-
probably. Yeah.
Dave Kerner, I think, nominated Live.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's another
So-
good one. I like that.
I mean, Hinder.
I might. I already did
You're
them
just
last
catching
year.
them.
Yep, and if I don't catch them today, I may be catching them tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Theory of a Dead Man, I'm sure you've got.
No,
No.
I've been trying and
No.
I have not.
Well,
Yes,
they're-
I
they're
want.
here.
right now.
Well, can you guys help me? Because that's a huge one that we've had a
Tyler
major request
Conley.
for. Right,
Put
Tyler.
his butt
and
over here.
we haven't gotten it yet.
There's a tall geek. I'm just kidding. There's a tall guy up there with glasses. His name's Harry. He's their tour manager. So if you walk around here and say we just interviewed Candlebox for this, and we would love to interview Theory of a Dead Man. His name's Harry. So if you just walk around and ask for Harry, maybe it'll happen. We've
Hopefully
lost
they don't
power
kick us
here,
out,
so I'm
but
not really sure.
they lost
Hey,
power. but
and we have Dave Cruz in here, and maybe he can nominate Pearl Jam.
oh, that would be awesome because we really would love to get that one too.
I don't know. We'll throw it out there.
Good, good.
Hey,
Right?
You know what? Eddie's always down for good charitable causes, so maybe they will.
Right, so hopefully they will. So we're gonna try to find Harry, which
Yeah.
is so funny that
Harry,
he's sitting.
and that's him right there.
Which one?
See the hat that's walking across in front of the speakers?
The hat with the little over there.
Yeah,
Yep,
he's up on
I see him.
stage. Now
Yep.
he's just walking around up there. He's got glasses on. His name's Harry.
All right, hopefully we don't get kicked out. We'll go try to track down Harry and see if we can get Theory
That's
because they've
right.
been nominated and we really need that one.
Yeah.
You guys have been so awesome. Thank you
Thank
guys
you.
My
so
pleasure.
much
Thank
for
you.
the interview.
Good luck with
All
everything.
right, guys,
Yes.
signing off.